Hi guys, welcome back to the Retro Room. This is going to be a cap replacement video because it was brought to my attention after the first video when I was editing it that all of these little yellow dudes are also bulging a little. You can see that. And while we have it out, might as well replace all of them. All right, those are all of these and that one right there. And what I do for, well, any sort of removal is I'm trying to use this guy up. First, add a little bit of new solder to each. First, get this around where I can look at it. Add a little bit of new solder to each pin. Man, he's not. I think I got. The iron's at temperature. I don't know why it's not wanting to. Might just be a lot of thermal mass in there that or I'm just simply not doing this right. Causing more of a mess than anything, it looks like. Add a little more heat. That's acting more like I expect it to. Well, that certainly made it ugly. You guys probably can't see that in there. Ugly stuff. Then I'll take the solder sucker and just buzz them right off of there. That didn't work at all. Maybe my iron is a little clogged. Yeah, seems to be. Well, these guys are being finicky. Got one off though. All right, I'm letting the soldering iron cool down for the moment. So I'm going to change tips on him. I melted part of that cap, apparently. Just going to, this is almost like a gel, but not really. It's like a paste. It doesn't want to come off of my tweezers. Yeah, these guys really do not want to come off of here. I'm going to use a little flux down here. If they will. And then put more solder down. And try the removal again. Oh, is that cool enough to take off there? Of course not. Is it going to stop me? No. We'll pop this one back on here. One we used before. Turn him around. I can get at him. Then we'll plug him in, wait for him to get back up to temp. All right. Now with flux in place, here's one. Flux isn't doing any good. It's really not wanting to melt. I did that one real easy. It's not doing that one too well. I made a solder bridge. It's getting hot. Kind of got into what I was doing there. Let's put the soldering iron down. Then we'll get the solder sucker after it. I have a cleaner. We'll make sure the nozzle's clean while he's warming up. Seems to go in there. It goes into the tank just a little bit. Right, looks like he's up to temp. Now let it melt around the pin, and then didn't make a hole. got full of flux smoke. And I broke a solder joint. A couple of them. Should be able to fix that. That doesn't need to be at 489C though. All right, I just pulled the solder right off of that. It didn't even question me. It just pulled the solder right off the cap. Why can't it do it with these? Gotta pin that back down. Maybe the solder I have just sucks. I don't know if that worked, but it seems like it has. All right. I think it just takes a while for this to form around each one. I don't quite know on those guys. All right. All right. All right. Without burning myself, got all 5 of those dudes out of there. I don't know if it's worth the effort for what little of a bulge they have, but an ounce of prevention. It's worth a pound to cure, so what they tell me. Alright, there were 5 of those guys. I'm replacing them with these aluminum organic film types. Because they match values and are awfully low ESR. Now with these, I believe that's the negative side with the colored side there. Do I have enough of an opening there for? Probably not. We're going to need to bend the leg, apparently. I just need to get the capacitor leg in that hole. To move this back here and try to heat the leg and just push it through. He's heating up, but he's not going. Yeah, he is. He's being stubborn about it, but he's going. See, he's in there, kind of hanging off the board a little, and that leg needs to be straightened up. But how are we going to do that? These tweezers kind of suck. Okay. Time for some better tools. I guess up here. Some of you are probably going to be screaming at me after seeing my manhandling of this capacitor. But that's okay. He was being stubborn, but I got him in there. All right, match up polarity there. We got another one that doesn't want to move. That's fantastic. I didn't properly clean out these holes is my big problem here. And they want to bend all over the place and not move. I can see where that is trying to push through. Well, let me fight with this. All right, that was trickier than it should have been. Just took continuously adding solder and removing it and adding it. Finally got the capacitors in their place. Now we're going to attempt to solder them down. The iron is not heating the leg enough to melt the solder for some reason. I don't know if that's soldered there or not. I don't know. That would be this first one. It seems pretty warm. I don't know why this isn't little peg on the PCI slot fell off. Hope that doesn't cause problems down the line. The legs are wicking the heat into the capacitor. So I have to heat the whole capacitor to get the solder to melt. which is a lot of fun, let me tell you. That takes a while, and I don't know if the capacitor is going to put up with that. So I have to be quick, but it doesn't want to go quick. Those seem in there, but they look real ugly. Well, that's not pretty. But I believe they're all in there. Okay. Let's snip some legs. I try to hold on to the legs so they don't fly just everywhere. At least that's what I try to do. I say that and two of them went flying. Yeah. That is pretty rough, but they all seem in there. So that's good. Let's see. Can we? We probably can. Test this board while it's sitting here. We're going to give that a shot. I have the RAM for it right here. Help if I put it in the right way. I believe it goes in this slot. Okay. Grab his video card. There we are. The processor. Little Pentium 4 dude. Will only really drop in there one way. Now I'm not going to go through the hassle of putting the heatsink assembly on right now. I'm just going to put something on top of it to keep it cool for the time being. So I'm just going to power it on for a second to make sure it posts. That should do the trick. It came on. It came on. It came on. Do we have video? No. Mostly because this processor has a little 4-pin connector that needs to be plugged in. And it came on. I'll see if you guys can see. There we go. I mean, it's not going to do anything because it's not set up, but it's on and it's beeping. It posted. So my caps work and they're in the right position. Or they would have exploded by now. Okay. I believe this cap video has gone on just about long enough. We know he works. I'm going to turn him off. He really didn't get that warm. This video's gone on about long enough. We will put this machine back together in the next video about this dude. I thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.